Start recording. So we're recording now. Welcome.
Thank you.
um so to anybody who might be watching this, uh uh I'm Mystic or Tim. My mom, that's my screen name, is Mystic. I've been Mystic for quite a long time. And it's based off of a Magic the Gathering card. I'll actually show you what that Magic the Gathering card is. But this is Butterfly Mama. She is my mom, and I am sharing with her on Discord uh, my screen so we can talk about video games and my hobbies, and she can make fun of them from the fun boomer perspective. Mom, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Kay, and I absolutely love butterflies, always have. So, kind of, that's why I chose that name. Um, yeah, Tim has been playing video games forever, and I've always had my input. Some good, some not so good when I couldn't get his attention because he was always into the video games. But, anyways, it's always been fun and it's always been interesting when he's shared, just lots of tidbits about what he's doing. So now we're going to dig a little deeper about it, and he's going to teach me some other things. And he'll probably get a lot of humor out of me trying to learn, trying to dig deeper. So it should be fun.
So you can turn on your video on Facebook, Mom, if you want to. Feel free. And then you can just lean it up against your laptop.
Oh, what? Wait, what?
so that so Facebook, on your phone. See, this
Oh,
is
on
the
my.
level of technological expertise that my mom has. So we're going to demonstrate that now. um,
Okay. All right, here we go. Let me do this first, and then, oh,
Share
see,
video.
am I there?
Turn
Am
camera
I?
on to see. Uh,
I
I
see
mean,
myself. Oh,
it's saying I can't. Oh, I think because I'm on whatever on OBS, I can't see your camera. See, this is why we're gonna switch to Discord soon, but she doesn't have an Ethernet cable, so Discord is very laggy, and so we'll just look at a pretty picture of my mom in the corner here. And you don't have to share your camera if you don't want to, Mom, because it's not working, so that's all right. But
okay.
but that's my mom. She's awesome. Um, you know, our history is long and complicated, and I feel like it's been the past few years as I've grown older, and my mom has mellowed out a little bit. um, I think
Not
I think
my
our
OCD has calmed down quite a bit.
I think our relationship has really grown a lot closer, and this is just one of the ways that I want to encourage that. And if if you're a gamer out there that wants to chill out with your parents and they don't understand what you do, maybe think about doing this. Sharing time with your mom and or dad or both, and you know,
Yeah.
explaining maybe what you do on a daily basis and why you do it. So yeah, right now it's going to be a little janky, but actually I could probably add a little window capture for mom. Browser existing. Nope. Just create new. Okay. Nope. Cancel. Delete that. This is a shit show. Um. Okay. Add. Let's do window capture. Cool. Let's do messenger call. There we go. There's mom. There
Now
she
the
is.
shit show would be if they actually did see me on video, as opposed to that picture that's posted on Facebook.
So, my, you know, my mom's old school. She cares about how she looks. Unlike me, who, I, uh, I'm not sure that I have brushed my beard in the last week. Um,
Oh my word! Don't tell people that.
uh, but, uh, but yeah, that's where we're
Oh.
at here. Um, all right. So the first thing, so you could see my screen, right, Mom?
I see. Wait,
Google
where am I
Chrome.
looking?
You're looking on
Yes,
Discord.
yes.
Okay.
I see. Yes, just see like a Google screen,
Yeah,
and
which is
then you
fine.
just move something.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Um,
What I fear is that you have me on camera and I can't tell.
no, I would, I would tell you. I would tell you. I would tell you. You're good. Um, all right. So this is going to be janky and weird, but video games. We all know them. We all love them, except for my mom and anybody that's around her age. um,
Well,
and
it's not that we don't love them. It's just that how can I explain it? It's the accumulation of um, functions that you have to go through
right,
navigating. It's
right.
like, oh, wait, where was I? Wait, what was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And that's where you get lost in the,
See, the thing that I think a lot of older folks don't understand when it comes to that, because that is the most common thing that I've ever heard. Because I've talked to a lot of older folks. Have a lot of friends who are older, that they're your age or even older, Mom.
Okay, can we stop right there with the older?
Mom,
folks?
you're 65 or 64. You're 64. 65.
I'll be 65 soon.
Soon. Yes, next month. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it March?
Yes.
Yeah, April. I didn't even know what month it was.
Jeez, you think you were retired?
Yeah. But my mom's almost 65, and I have friends who are her age, older, who didn't play video games. I have some friends who are her age and older that did play and still do play video games. So it's not like it's not like an age requirement, right?
Yeah.
But like she said, it's this accumulation, it's this gestalt of information that you develop over a long period of time, which allows you to understand like the context of things that you're seeing on screen. So what I'm going to do over this kind of like fun little YouTube series, hopefully, is that I would like to explain some of the history of video games and help establish a little bit of that gestalt over time, because I had to develop that overall understanding of video games too. I just was young and I was willing to bash my head against the wall as a child, thinking that I was doing good, but not being self-aware enough to understand that I was actually doing very, very poorly. But yeah, so I had to develop that too. But when you're an adult with a job who's trying to take care of children or whatever it is, that process can be very stop and go, and it could take a lot longer, right?
Yeah,
because
it takes a back seat, definitely.
Yeah, it's not your main form of entertainment, or and in many cases for people my age, a form of self-expression as well. But yeah, video games. We got consoles here. We got characters and craziness and controllers, all that kind of stuff. I just typed in video games into Google image search, and this is what comes up. But
right.
What you don't know about this, Mom, is there is a quiz element to it.
Oh boy. I have to take a quiz.
Who was the first person to create a video game? Bonus
Um.
questions for the year, or bonus
Oh,
points.
I see his face. It's what's his name? And he's very rich. Uh, I see him. He wears glasses. Um,
I know who you're thinking of.
is that wrong?
Are you thinking of Bill Gates?
Yes.
That is very wrong.
Okay. Ugh.
That's
Can
okay.
can okay, wait. Can it be a name choice? Can it be a choice thing and then let me
In
choose?
the future, I will do that. Yes.
Oh, dang. Uh, all right, because I'm thinking I know who that is, and I'm thinking it was 1974.
Okay. Okay. I will give you a little bit of a point for that, even
Okay.
though it's not correct. But
Oh, gee.
I do think that level of kind of, I'm gonna add points in the calculator here. 1 point. Um. Uh. I will tell you now, the points don't matter. But
What? Wait. I'm very competitive. Points matter.
Okay, they matter. They matter now. Um.
Okay.
But you it's very common to think that the first video game was in the 1970s, but in fact, the very first video game was invented in October of 1958 by this fella.
Why am I not surprised? That is a good year.
um, Let me see him. I need to. I'm using Google here, and it's happening.
Wow, 1958. That is
Yeah, by a fella by the name of William Hingenbottom. Hingenbottom. Yeah,
bottom.
this guy. So he, long time ago, he's actually a physicist. He's not
Higginbottom.
a game designer, because that title didn't even exist anymore. Didn't
Right.
even exist then. Um, uh, as we could see here on the Wikipedia, he passed in 1994 after a long 84 years on this earth. But yeah, a member of the team that developed the first nuclear bomb.
Oh,
And in
great.
yeah,
he was a
so he's
he
right
was a
next to
go-getter.
Oppenheimer. Yeah, right next to Oppenheimer. And he also created in 1958 Tennis for Two, the first interactive analog computer game and one of the first electronic games to use a graphical display. So that's what we think about.
So it
Um,
was kind of like that
oh,
game.
oopsie.
Is that game Tetris?
Uh, no, but Pong is
Pong,
the
Pong. That's
yes, yeah,
it.
that's the game that you were thinking of that was invented in the 1970s, and that is considered to be one of like the first like games, um,
Yes.
because it was marketed and sold all across, um,
Yes.
all across the world,
You
and
know what?
was very popular. Had video game cabinets all over the place.
Yes, and not to interrupt
No,
you,
go ahead, go ahead.
but you know what? You learned how to, if you could just put your little paddle or whatever you call it, the little line on a certain place on each side, that you could literally pong it back and forth, and it would do that forever without.
So you could infinitely loop the game.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny.
Did you play Pong in the arcade?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Did you put your quarters up? Did you go 1v1 with other people?
Yes, yes. You could play Pong, and then someone had Pong. I think it was on the Atari game thing or something
Hmm.
at home. Trying to think of who that was. That was a long time ago. Probably don't want to mention names. I don't know.
First names are okay. You could also make things up if you ever need to, but
Okay.
I don't think anybody's going to be looking up any people in this, but hopefully not.
But yeah, definitely. played Pong.
But yeah, Pong, you know, very often acclaimed as, you know, like the first like real video game, you know, because they're like it said before, in 1958 there was the first game, Tennis for Two, which had a graphical interface. Let's see. So this is what it looked like. It looked like kind of like I mean, they literally did kind of use a radar, as it were, like to
Yeah.
show the tennis ball going to one side, and then you would like hit it back and forth over this center little net.
Right.
And yeah, so it's very similar to Pong. Obviously, Pong is table tennis,
Hmm.
but it's funny how both first games kind of were about tennis in one way or another. A game that I do love. I wish I kept up with it more. I'm
I
sad that
know. I remember
Federer.
your tennis days.
Yeah, I'm sad that Federer retired this year, or in this last year. But you know, that's a different discussion. Um, but yeah. So like I said, 1 point for a good guess that is like kind of related to it. But since then, video games have turned into craziness. There's a type
Yeah.
of video game for everything. Just like kind of like there's a type of movie for everything, right?
Right.
What's your favorite genre of movie, Mom?
I don't know that I have a favorite.
Just off the top of your head.
Um, well, lately I've been really into like these reality type, like building farms and all this kind
Oh,
of
cool. Yeah, like
like
showing people doing their jobs and like working normal lives and
yeah, and
stuff
planting
like
these
that.
crops and all these things all over America. And
Well, there's games for that. There's farm simulators.
I know there is, and I've kind of been, impressed with something like that.
There's literally a game called Farming Simulator, and these games are crazy. One game that I could probably get you into eventually is Stardew Valley. It's one of the most popular games of all time, made by literally one person.
Wow.
One guy made this game, and you go and you inherit a farm and you till the land and you harvest things. But that's not all. You also go in and you go to hang out with people in town. You can make relationships and even get married. It's very cute, and people really like the game.
Okay, not doing that again. And they're done that.
But yeah, there's so many different genres of game. I actually wanted to show you a part of how many genres there are. So that's the wrong one. Oh, did I
Yeah,
delete
think
it on
that's
accident?
super interesting.
So I don't know why HP has a list, but and this is by no means exhaustive. I don't know why Hewlett Packard made a list of video game genres to explain to people, but they have some nice videos on here. So sandbox, what do you think that means, Mom?
What is it?
Sandbox, a sandbox game.
A sandbox game?
Yeah.
I don't know, like looking for treasures,
Okay, you could do that in a sandbox game, definitely.
building,
Yes.
sculptures.
Yeah, you could definitely do that in a sandbox game.
Yeah. Digging tunnels.
You could do that. Actually, one of the most popular games of all time, Minecraft, is a sandbox game where you dig a lot of tunnels. You mine things and you can create stuff. You could build stuff. Let's actually. I want to
I am
show
very
you.
familiar with Minecraft. To
Oh
be
yeah,
honest with you.
because Griffin
Because-
plays Minecraft.
Yes,
Or-
because my
nice.
grandson is obsessed.
My my
We'll
little
do
nephew.
anything to get time.
Yeah, he Minecraft is great. It's great for learning and expressing creativity, but there's a lot of different kinds of sandbox games.
He
There's
wants me to buy that for my place here.
of
So,
course, so he could come over and play video games at grandma's house.
yeah, yes.
um, but
It's
yeah,
funny.
sandbox generally refers to a there are no rules. There might be a story, but you don't have to follow the story. You could do whatever you want. Sandbox games are pretty recent development in video games, maybe the last like 15 or so years. Um,
Oh, okay.
because you couldn't
Mm.
have enough assets and like you didn't have enough computing power on consoles or in PCs to make a sandbox game. Everything had to be very very scripted and you had to know what to do. Here we're going to go out of order here because um it's better. So platformers, do you know what a platformer is, Mom? You could probably guess from the name.
Oh, I've heard that uh, description before, but I'm not really sure what it means.
What word is in platformer?
Hmm. Platform.
Okay. And what do you do on with platforms
Oh,
generally?
so would that be like Super Mario?
Exactly. Whoa. I'm gonna give you a point right there. Damn.
Hey, dang.
Sheesh. Mom got points. Yeah. Mario Bros is a platform. There's also modern platformers like Cuphead, which is here. I'll actually show you a little part of a video of Cuphead. This is their trailer. Oh my God, that's loud. Jesus Lord.
Oh, looks like a cartoon.
Yes, they
Like
purposefully.
an old school cartoon.
Yes, they
Before you weren't allowed this, and we aren't allowed that.
exactly. So they actually purposefully made this this game as a representation of those old school cartoons because they love them.
That's
Two brothers made this game.
That's
Um,
exactly what that reminds me of.
Yeah, and each frame of this game is hand drawn.
Wow.
Yeah. So every animation is hand drawn, and they add it onto like particular frames and things like that. Or sorry, they when they're designing the game. So if there's an animation,
Mhm.
it's just like a cartoon where just like flipping a flip book. They
Yeah,
paste
yeah.
every single frame of the animation in order, so when you do an action in the game, it plays that animation and it shows on the screen. So
Oh my gosh, that must have taken a hot minute.
it
Oh,
did.
look, and it even had the little squiggly lines of when it's over,
Yes,
See?
exactly.
Total old school.
Yeah. Super cool. Really amazing game. Um, Cuphead is what that one's called because you play
Okay.
a little teacup, um, who's
Oh.
who makes a deal with the devil and must defeat. He's got to defeat all the evil folks who are taking over the land, and and get back to burn his copy of the deal with the devil so he isn't taken to hell. So very old school kind of idea
Yeah.
there. um
Yeah. Wow.
so there's also, okay, so we'll say simulation in sports, exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Simulation games where it's like, oh, it's like real life, I'm walking through a forest, or I'm a detective, or whatever. And then sports where
Mm.
you're playing football, or
Right.
tennis, or golf, or
Like, like
actually,
the
yeah,
Madden.
like Madden. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm actually a really big fan of golfing games, though I never play them on stream. But I remember Tiger Woods like 2009 or something like that,
Right. Right.
or 2006 or something. I got that at some point. I think I don't know if you got it for me or if I just went to GameStop or Game Crazy at the time, and and got it for myself. But I really enjoy that game. It's super fun to play. Um,
You know what? Also, I do have that Xbox. Oh, what are those games where oh, I do like bowling and those are
Oh,
fun
are you
games.
sure you don't have
And
a Wii?
a
Okay.
Wii, yes, where you do bowling and
Yeah. Wii
oh gosh,
Sports. Wii
yeah, Wii
Sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh
fun.
yeah, that's a very common, like one of the first games that people who aren't really into video games or who are older. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to pick on you for about your age, Mom, but
Oh, I know.
like I mean like when it first came out 15 or 10 years ago, I think it was when the Wii first came out, somewhere around there. I don't know exact
Yeah,
dates.
probably
But
10, 15. Yeah.
yeah, somewhere around there. When it first came out, like 80-year-old people were playing it in, in old
Well,
folks' homes, you
I
know?
told you I played it with that older gentleman. He was in his 90s that I took care
Right.
of.
Exactly.
I would play that with him, and he was better than I was at it. I was like, "Hey, I don't think this is really fair here." And he'd go, "Well, I'll give you an extra point."
So
But
chat, well, I say chat, I'm not streaming right now. I forgot this is a YouTube video. But everybody, you might realize where I get some of my competitiveness from.
yes. Oh, you're talking about me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh but yeah, so there's a few more here. Action adventure, that's like Legend of Zelda, which I've played my whole life. It's one of my favorite video
right.
games. Um
Yeah, I heard a lot of colorful words come out of that game.
Legend of Zelda?
Wasn't that the one?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Legend of Zelda is a very sweet. I'll show you. Uh, I'll show you which one it is, and you'll recognize it. So your Link, you got a sword. You know, oftentimes he has like a green tunic.
oh, oh.
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard of that game. I just don't recall.
yeah. I played almost every single one of these,
Yeah,
and a lot of them I played when I was a kid. So, but
yeah,
they are amazing games about adventure and exploration, and you get to save the princess, and
right,
go and defeat evil and become more powerful with all a bunch of different fun items that help you
right.
interact with the world. Great video game. One of the greatest video game series of all time, and that's not even me saying that. That's just a fact. Not unfortunately, but you know, oh, I had a Steam conversation open. All right. Uh, and then one that you did hear lots of colorful terminology from is shooters. Those are the
Is that
video
the one where
games.
you were going through all this different territory and people were jumping out and you were trying to shoot them and you would gain all these weaponry and
Yeah.
okay,
So
yeah.
here's one of them. This is Gears of War 5, and this is a team deathmatch game mode. So these people are playing against other people. I don't know why my quality is at 480p, but we're gonna change that. But yeah, so you see he's switching through weapons. He's fighting another guy. He just shotgunned and exploded a dude. That guy's rolling away and trying to run. He gets a double kill, kills another guy. Now he's chasing this guy. Doesn't know he got turned on and got exploded. As you can see, these games are very, very exciting. There's a lot going on at any one moment, and they could be fun bonding experiences with your friend. You could lose friends over it.
Oh my gosh.
Because they beat your ass too hard, or they but actually one of the main games that I play is Destiny 2, which is a shooter. And that's a game that I've been playing for since launch, day 1 D1. Is what we say in the community. But that game can be oh god, that game. It could be amazing, or it could be very frustrating. Regardless, it has been an important part of my life, and the life of my like Twitch channel for what as soon as I started streaming. Honestly, I've been playing Destiny since I started. Um, but a fun game. There's a lot of exploration in the game, and that's the thing. All of these genres, they get mixed. They get mix and matched with different things. Like Destiny is not just a first-person shooter; it is also kind of an adventure game. It's also can be kind of a strategy game in some ways, like when it comes to raiding, which we'll get into what all these different things mean. It's also competitive. It's also about crafting things, mostly guns and armor, and like trying to find the best sorts of guns and armor that match your play style. It's very complex. Destiny 2, as well as games like World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, these like large scale games that take a long time to get into, and then you could play them for forever, basically.
Right.
They're very deep, and they keep changing, so you have more and more content. It's actually kind of a problem in the industry right now, where companies are trying to figure out what the hell to do. So we didn't go through all of the genres.
Okay,
But
so what the hell to do as far as like the next step, or
uh, so, you mean as far as like the problems in the industry with these sorts
yeah,
of games?
yeah,
So, as an aside, and we could get into this on a later episode,
right, right,
but uh, video games have gone through many evolutions. Like whether it be the old graphical text-based games, or to first-person shooters and full 3D graphics, and or massively multiplayer online games like Destiny, or well, Destiny to a lesser extent, but like World of Warcraft or EverQuest. I know you're
right.
familiar with EverQuest.
Yes, yes.
I played the shit out of EverQuest when I was a kid. I tried to get as much time in that game as I could.
Oh
Um,
my gosh, thank goodness you had the intelligence of a I don't know what, because uh, you had the capability of doing all of this and getting through school. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
How many
honestly,
times did I beat on your door and go, "Are we doing the homework?"
I think video games are I I say that one of the reasons why I learned to read was, I mean, obviously, so a little history about me. Um, I have really bad anxiety, depression, and ADHD, which are like, I've had, I think, pretty much my whole life. So those things can manifest when you're like a young kid in things like illiteracy, or like temper tantrums and rage and things like that. So I was illiterate until I was in about fourth grade.
No.
Um,
It was really
it was the summer before fourth grade
second
that I learned.
second grade.
I Was it second grade?
Yes, going into second grade
Okay.
is when you learn to read. And I was like, "Who are you?" Oh my
I
god.
don't. I have the timeline different in my head, but whatever. It doesn't really matter.
No.
What matters is that I very, very gravely struggled with reading for a very long time. And then once I was able to get my kind of like ADHD medication going, and which helps activate the frontal cortex, um, which and other parts of the brain, I was able to like sit down and be able to read. It was like a light bulb turning on.
It
Um,
did. It just literally turned on. And you went from this child who was like, "I can't read this," to you read an 800-page book.
yeah.
Like in a matter of, I swear, days. It was insane.
Um, so if your children are struggling, have them checked out by a psychiatrist. Um, but which I'm forever
A
grateful.
children's one. A children's one.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
forever grateful for you for doing that. Like I said earlier, it's like we've had our ups and downs, as a family, but no matter what, you always tried your best, and in that, I was able to, get medication, get treated for ADHD at like a much earlier age than a lot of other people were, which allowed me to read and learn. Which allows me to be articulate and explain things like video games to my mom, 30 years later,
Yeah.
or 20 years
To
later.
thrive. To
Um,
thrive. You know.
but anyway, why I mentioned that is like, while the medication was great, and I did a little bit of Hooked on Phonics as well, um, playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was like huge for me, because back then games didn't have voice acting. Let's look that up. Ocarina of Time. So this game, way back in the day, um, this was on the Nintendo 64. It didn't have voice acting. You didn't, and most Legend of Zelda games don't have voice acting at all. Even now. So everything was text based. So you had to.
That's where you interact with other people.
No,
voicing.
no.
Is that what you're talking about, though?
Oh, well, it's when you talk to the NPCs or non-player characters, they speak to you in the game and give you quests or tell you how to do different things, or just
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in so doing, and by wanting to learn the story and wanting to know who these characters were and everything like that, I was able to read. They have a Shaggy mod. I was able to read and force myself to read these sentences and these words that I was struggling with before, and along with the other things that I was doing, taking my medication and doing Hooked on Phonics, I was able to. I had an outlet to learn how to read, which I really, really enjoyed doing, because it rewarded me by, now I know, that Link is in this world that's now covered in darkness because this evil Lord Ganondorf has, hurt many, many people and, taken over the world, and now I'm the last hope who needs to travel in time to go and save this land of Hyrule in order to make things right again.
Hey, and you were even that guy right there.
Yeah.
You were that guy right there for Halloween, I think.
Yes, I was. That's Link. He's the main character.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, we handmade a Link costume for me, and a lot of girls at school were like, "Hey, yo."
That was an awesome costume.
It was an awesome costume. The gloves were like, gloves are hard to make. I'm just going to say that right now. Gloves are very difficult to create. But other than the gloves, like, everything was perfect. But yeah, so I thank Zelda for teaching me how to read, and later on, when I was playing EverQuest with my brother Justin, the only way to communicate with other people in the game, in this massively multiplayer online game, was to type, right? So I was really, really bad at typing at the time. I still am not a great typer. I do maybe like 40 words per minute or like 50 or something like that. It's not even that good. But before, it was like tick, 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 and now I could, like, you guys see me typing on the screen, like, I could type, decently fast. And that was actually the way that Justin got mom and dad to get me to play. He was like, he sucks at typing. He needs to learn how to type because that's the way that the world is going. You need to be able to do this. He needs to be able to do this. He could practice it in here when he's typing to other people and learn how to use computers better. You need to let him play this game.
Oh my gosh. Why does that not surprise me? I don't remember that, but it does not surprise me one bit. You guys work together quite magnificently behind the scenes.
Well, he was, Justin's very, very smart, and I like to consider myself to be pretty smart as well. So we had two very smart kids that want to get away with stuff. Well, Justin wasn't a kid. I mean, Justin's 12 years older than I am, but so he wasn't exactly a child. But but we're trying to get
You
get
guys are
things
all
working.
working, mom.
Yeah, and so we figured out how to work it, work the system, as it were. But
Yeah, I
but
know.
yeah, EverQuest
Yeah,
helped me learn how to type. You know,
yeah, that's cool.
so I guess this whole diatribe was about how video games are a lot more than just mindless entertainment.
Right.
And they can carry weight, you know, beyond just playing and having a good time. Because like a person who loves football but maybe they're not strong enough, or maybe they have an injury or something like that, they could play Madden and they could play with their friends and they could feel like they're involved in that world that maybe physically they can't be involved in. Or you
Good
know
point.
yeah.
Excellent.
Or maybe somebody who really likes bonding with other people, but they live really far away from their friends. They can get online and they could play a raid in Destiny or something like that. So
Right.
over the course of these kind of like fun little journeys that we're going to have together, Mom, I want to show you not just what video games are, but why they are,
Right.
and maybe
Right.
some of the reasons why they have succeeded, and in some ways they've failed too. Video games are a very complex thing. Uh,
Right.
what Out of what we discussed today, what's the
Oh
most
God.
interesting to you? What
Oh God. He's gonna put me to a test.
Yeah,
I'm just-
what's the most interesting part to you?
um, kind of. That was well. All of it is actually. All of it is. It's. I love the way you just kind of laid it out about just the facts involving just uh how kids, children, it's not all just about, oh my gosh, video games, they're going to destroy their minds, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's so many things like helping you with reading, and helping you to stay focused, and just different things. I mean, there's a lot more to it. Now, I don't think you should just set your kid down at a video game
definitely not.
endlessly forever and not have any other interaction or outside play or anything like that. I mean, I don't think that's cool, but
I agree with that 100%. You should not do that.
yeah. But I mean, for a lot of folks, I mean, there's a lot of things that they can um, get out of this.
Mhm.
And, you just have to, it's like the old saying, everything in moderation, you
Right.
know? So,
Are you looking forward to learning about anything in particular in upcoming episodes of this series?
well, I kind of want to learn about a lot of the whole different, kind of dip into all the different ones, you
Okay.
know? Yeah. Not just kind of zero into one. Like I told you, the whole farming thing was really cool to me too. But I know your brother was involved in a game which I found kind of really interesting. It was a hunting game.
Hmm.
Uh, and I thought that was kind of interesting too, because it was very outdoorsy, but it was
Right.
very realistic.
Hmm.
You know, you had to listen for the animals, and it was just really cool. I don't know. I just
All
thought that was
right.
kind I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I think this will be a fun time, and like you know like I think I mentioned it in the beginning. The whole point of this is to kind of spend time, with my mom. um, like I live in Kansas, she lives over in Nevada, so we're really far away from each other, and I don't really like taking phone calls and stuff, and like chatting in that way. It's not really my thing. Um, and that's like the main way that she communicates. So I
Yeah,
decided to
kind
try
of
and
old school.
yeah, I wanted to try and like bridge the gap here so we can talk about, maybe something I'm interested in a way that I could, stay involved, but also she can share her stories and what she thinks about all this kind of stuff, and give her unique perspective, and maybe share stuff about just her life that might influence her opinions on this kind of stuff. And that way I could get to know my mom better, and she could get to know me better, and it's a win-win situation, right? So,
Yeah,
but
I think it'll be fun.
I think it has been fun.
Yes.
With that, I think that's the end of our first episode. It's kind of been a little crazy,
Yeah.
but
We have to have our own little like peace out moment.
yeah, like a little sign off.
Yeah.
What do you think it should be?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Peace out. No, I'm just kidding.
Peace out, bitches. Woo!
Mic drop.
Exactly. Well, we'll figure something out for next time. Okay. This one was just kind of a stuff. This was a pilot episode.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's where everybody's still trying to get to know their characters and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Okay, let's get colorful there.
All right. Well, Mom, I love you, and everybody out in the digital frontier of the internet, you're all right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Mom, do you have anything to end on?
No, I love you too, and to everybody else, love you. Have a great day.
All right.
All right.
Peace, friends.
Bye.